Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tampa Live. I think this is episode 9. I'm your host, Joe Flores, until I don't have to introduce myself anymore. I got Jon Debellavue as co-host and a special guest, Michael Manos, with me today. Welcome to Tampa Live podcast, Mike. How's it going?
Thank you so much, and really appreciate you guys having me. I've been following along what you guys are doing, and you guys have some amazing segments. So I'm happy to be here today and to provide insights and just kind of further strengthen what we have going on at LPT.
I like how you said segments because I love when those when I turn on YouTube and different reels are popping up from the show. So, hey man, you guys keep supporting the Tampa Live podcast. If you really want to stay up to date, make sure to follow us on YouTube. Pay attention to what's happening. Whether you want to see us or not, we're coming, right? So, Jon Debellavue, how's the week going, man?
Oh, good, man. Living the dream. We've got some new listings on market. We've been utilizing the new platform we've got from LPT Plus Udelia, which has been great to, bring some cash offers.
We're going to get into that. We're definitely going to get more into the new LPT Realty products that's been coming out, helping us as the agents sell more homes. And we'll get in the discussion of these cash buying investment partnerships that they've got and powered us with, right?
Yeah.
But, yo, man, how's the Tampa market feeling right now? I feel like the phone's starting to ring a little more. It's active. I feel like there's a lot of motivation starting to happen within. And I think that we're early. I do think, I'm seeing a lot of success stories of people who've been grinding for the past 90 days, maybe 6 months. And now they're coming to a space where they're getting under contracts. They're getting random listings. Things are just happening organically. And I love to see that from especially some of the newer agents, knowing that we're in November, going December, and they're walking into the new year 2025 hot with contracts. And I love the fourth quarter every year because the fourth quarter is really what sets off your yearly goals in 2025. So that's good stuff. I hope everybody's building up their momentum, right? I was watching the other day. I'm seeing Kim Kardashian, Kai, and different people having these robots, these AI robots going on right now. Isn't that the craziest stuff? You could just, for like $20,000, I heard, you rent them out or you purchase them, and now you got a robot there.
Yeah.
AI's taking over the world.
AI, is that big?
I know Michael knows a lot about it.
Yeah, so it's actually, in my opinion, one of the best times to organically scale a business using the technology of artificial intelligence. And so, the way I look at it is we're heading into Industry 5.0. And so Industry 4.0, we had big data and we had artificial intelligence. And as we transition into Industry 5.0, we're now seeing this synergy between big data and artificial intelligence. Yeah. And what it allows us to do is it allows us to offer hyper-personalized experiences to our consumers. And so really, in my opinion, what you described is more so Industry 6.0. And thankfully, Elon Musk is leading us into that revolution. But for right now, I think the biggest first user advantage is businesses, especially real estate agents, adopting artificial intelligence to intelligently scale their organizations. Because what artificial intelligence does very well is it infinitely nurtures our consumers. And we all know that in the real estate industry, it can be very challenging to juggle sales, marketing, communication. And so artificial intelligence adds that extra layer of infinite nurturing, but at a hyper-personalized level.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I take my voice and just act as me, right? Make 100 me's, make 1,000 me's,
well,
right?
I think we've seen the evolution, and I think you've got some products in development and things like that, but I think we've seen the evolution of AI over, the last couple of years, specifically the breakthroughs that have been in sales technology with the AI dialers, with the the videos, the video advertisement where you can have an AI model do the voicing and everything like that after you put in some voice clips, and then the improvements on chatbot functions on websites, right? Customer service and just basic chatbots on websites, right? We've seen them improve over the last couple of years dramatically. It's all over the place. It's really taking over.
You humans are worthless now. No.
Yeah, That was crazy.
Like one of the main creators of AI said some slightly scary stuff that was like sounded like something out of the Terminator, but I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt and say we're all good for right now.
Yeah, and I'll just add on to that as well. You know, people have to understand that these large language models, where the artificial intelligence is trained, is developed by, at the end of the day, businesses.
Yep.
Right, with a lot of capital, and when it comes to that, unfortunately, there's bias. And so, as you described, there was a particular large language model called Gemini, which is being produced by Google, that actually said some crazy things to a student that was asking for help on their homework. And so it's very important when you are looking to scale your business with artificial intelligence that you're picking the right large language models. And so a few of them, you know, are OpenAI's ChatGPT. You have Perplexity. You also have Google Gemini. And so the most important thing when you're adopting artificial intelligence in your business is to, number one, figure out what your pain points are. Some people have challenges with multi-channel communication. Maybe they can only keep up with, you know, Facebook or Instagram, maybe not so much email, maybe not so much outbound voice. And so the artificial intelligence will allow companies to scale their communication very efficiently, but it's very important that you establish what your pain points are first. And it's like any other business strategy. You want to see what are your pain points and how can I apply the artificial intelligence to produce the most leverage.
And would you say out of the, I guess, the three main ones that you just mentioned, right? Was it 3 or 4?
I just mentioned 3.
Okay.
There's
I just wanted to
many,
make sure.
but these are the main consumer.
Would you say out of those 3, there's 1 or 2 that particularly stand out to you the most as being the most user friendly or like straightforward in meeting multiple needs of most business owners and consumers?
Sure, that's a great question. I think the important thing to establish is up until now, first we'll talk about the most popular language model, which is ChatGPT.
Right.
Up until now, ChatGPT did not have the ability to pull in real-time data. That's something Perplexity could do, right? So if you understand large language models and artificial intelligence, these models are trained on mass amounts of data. They could be pulling from websites, from books, from user input, right? And so, again, when I talk about looking at your pain points and where you want to go, that definitely comes into consideration. And so right now, the mainstream one is ChatGPT. That is the most user-friendly, but a business that really wants to cover all bases should learn how to implement more than one model.
Okay.
And so Perplexity is very good for accumulation of data, right?
Okay.
So if you are just looking for data, whether it be on consumer profiles, on market insights, so forth and so on, I would go to Perplexity for that information.
Okay.
For ChatGPT, I would go there for client communication. It's very good with the humanized output, right? So you can look at something here that's kind of data-driven and dry, but you need good data to drive a business forward. But you also need to be able to convey that data in an easy-to-understand way. And so that's why we implement ChatGPT. And with some of the products that I'm developing under augmented agents, what you're gonna see is a ability to be hyper personalized. And so in Industry 4.0, we were taking one message and we were delivering it to 5 people, the same message.
Right.
Now with the implementation of artificial intelligence, we're able to develop specific personas, right? Because we all know that we should be marketing to specific personas that we know are likely to do business with us. And so now we're able to take many messages, 5 different messages, and disseminate to 5 different personas. And so I think the businesses who adopt going away from that sort of, they call it like spray and pray. We all do this.
Right.
But the point is, you cannot talk to Larry, the life event seller, the same way that you would talk to Debbie, the downsizer.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the having like versus a real human. You can get that instinct when you're talking to them in real time, and they're giving you a response, and you're getting where their pain points is at right now. Like she needs to downsize or whatnot. But I gotta tell you guys the craziest story. I did a Zoom call with Michael Manos, and I know he has something coming out called the Augmented AI. I want you to get definitely into that. Actually, what is the Augmented AI?
Yeah, so that's been under development for the better part of the year. And so originally I sought out to create something that would replace me in the ecosystem of what we do from day to day in the real estate industry.
10x.
And so as I started to develop that out, started having conversations with other people in the industry, we started talking about some of the industries that would be the most resistant to artificial intelligence. Real estate was one of them that came up. Another one was financial services. And so when I started thinking about this transition from industry 4.0 to 5.0, and if you understand the...
Bro, I feel like I'm on 2.0.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's super important to have these conversations.
Yeah.
And I don't
that's why
mean
Michael
to
Manos
be
is here
harsh
today.
about this, but I truly believe that those who don't learn to adopt these systems and processes are going to get left behind, like a lot of real estate professionals got left behind when we transitioned from the typewriter to Word.
Yeah,
right.
that
We know
transition,
some
right, exactly.
real estate professionals
You either
that still
accepted
can't open
it-
a computer,
Yeah.
and then we went from local on the desktop to cloud.
Yep.
Some people know how to use cloud services.
We went from Nintendo to PlayStation.
Yeah. And now we're in what I call the era of exponentialism. What does that mean? It means anything you do moving forward, if you adopt AI, you'll be able to scale at a level that has never been, possible.
Right. And it's happening fast. It is happening fast.
Yeah. And so the ecosystem, the important thing with adopting artificial intelligence in your business is to not use too many fragmented tools. What do I mean by that? So you might go here to this large language model for data. You might go here to write your blogs. You might go here for your social media posts. Oftentimes I have agents telling me they adopt a brand voice. They go to ChatGPT. They say, could you please create this in my brand voice? They copy it, they paste it, they put it inside of whatever they're doing. And so the ecosystem that I developed is a fully comprehensive end-to-end solution for 24/7 sales and marketing automation. And that consists of starting with a brand voice. And so I think it's important that we all adopt brand voices, right? We need to differentiate ourselves.
Yeah.
You have a unique brand voice, you have a unique brand voice, and so forth and so on. So by starting with this unique brand voice, we're able to build online reputation and loyalty, right? Because if we want repeat business, this is what we need to do. If we want to stop relying on Zillow and Realtor.com for paid leads, we need to learn how to adopt this technology to build brands sustainably. And so the ecosystem consists of the content automation. And remember, this is all in your brand voice and specific to your personas. Also, AI voice.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Check this. We were on Zoom and we were
I think
making
I heard you from my office.
Yeah, we were making cold. Yeah, he's across the hall. We were making cold calls, and we were speaking with, let's say, for example, for sale by owners, and we're talking to him, and so he was like, "Check this out." He had the AI speak to, like, I role played like he was the seller and I was the realtor.
Yeah,
and then I communicated with it. When we were done, Mike asked, "Hey, can you give him feedback?" And I have it right here on the audio. I want to play it. So this is live AI talking.
It's awesome stuff. Guys, this is only $20 a month.
Staying persistent and highlighting the benefits.
Let's bring it.
Absolutely. Joe, you did a solid job of staying persistent and highlighting the benefits of working with a professional. You handled objections well. using comparisons and examples to make
The
your
AI
point.
is telling me what I did
You
good
also showed
in my phone call.
flexibility by offering to email over the offers,
But I love how,
which kept the conversation open.
and then
Nice.
Mike asks,
And what could Joe do to improve next time?
For next time, Joe could focus on building more rapport before diving into the sales pitch. Asking a few questions about the owner's situation or motivations could help establish a connection. This approach might make the
It's
seller
amazing
more
stuff.
receptive
And
to
and
hearing
imagine, so
that's the AI giving feedback
Yeah.
about my call, giving me advice on what I should do better on my live phone call that I just did with them. And that was mind blowing of how,
and how much would you
advanced the
pay a
AI would be.
coach, a real estate coach, to give you the same feedback?
Some people pay $5,000 to a coach to give them response of give them a response on their cold calls on how to convert better.
Sure.
And so this AI did it, and that was through
Let's do ChatGPT,
ChatGPT
Pro version,
paid
their
version.
That's their new advanced voice, and you can see how just a little bit of leverage with AI can go a long way. Imagine
Right.
having your whole sales team set up with a solution like that, where every single day, 24/7, they can access it for training, for feedback, for skill improvement. I think it's an amazing resource.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna be able to duplicate each other easily, especially online, and that's, I'm glad like a company like LPT Realty, they're using AI when we're in they have Desi AI. They have their own AI program that creates our marketing. Where if let's say you're a newer agent, you join a brokerage, a lot of times you got to figure everything out else, how to create your business card or your marketing flyer on your own. And some people like, where do you start at? One advantage of LPT Realty is when you join, they have an AI called Desi AI Marketing, where you just upload a photo and it creates your business card, your billboards, your for sale signs, all your marketing up front, your flyers. And so it's I love to associate with a business like LPT Realty where that we can tell that they're making their transition promptly, fairly quickly, and they're adjusting their business compared to other brokerages out there. And that's Robert Palmer for you, the owner of LPT Realty.
Well, I think the pitch on LPT was always to be a agent powered brokerage for agents, right? And so all he's done over the last couple of years as he's improved the company is try to give us more accessibility to tools and resources. I think like Michael was touching on, AI is such a huge resource and a tool if you're willing to implement it in your business and learn how to navigate it and use it, which is the important part. And we're going to see a lot of people, as it becomes more prevalent, get phased out if they don't adapt with the times.
What I love about, I think Robert Palmer's trying to do is he wants to make it as convenient as possible for the agent to use the tools. Because how many brokerages out there, you have 1,000 tools and you don't know how to use like 98% of them. So I think the way that he's making adjustments and pivots, he's making it easy. He wants to make it easier for the agent to use any product that he has. And that's the part about some of the game changers being with LPT Realty for sure.
Yeah, and I just want to add on that as well, is I think the world of Robert Palmer as a entrepreneur and also as a person. And I was actually talking to somebody that has been working with him for 9 years now, and she told me that pretty much everything that was developed tech-wise within our ecosystem, Robert Palmer had a hand in it, right? So this isn't just a CEO that's sitting up in a boardroom, looking at the bottom line of an organization and how to improve that. He's actively empowering us with technology that's going to future-proof our businesses.
100%.
We don't just win the Inman Innovative Brokerage of the Year award, 2.5 years in, if we're not really moving the needle,
being innovative
with that stuff. And I believe that Robert will continue to be at the forefront of technology adoption. But as you said, he has the ability to build tools that are useful and easy to use, and I think that's important when it comes to the adoption of technology.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope. I
agree.
mean, with LPT now that they've come out with this new product where I think you pay a small fee or whatnot, and they give you like 8 tools that would normally, let's just say it would cost you whatever, $800 if you wanted these products, but instead now he's offering it to us for like 10% of the rate.
They're
right?
actually taking a loss on that. It's called LPT Plus.
Right. Okay.
And that just shows you how much LPT wants us to
Now,
succeed.
what is LPT Plus now? So there's something that an agent, picture this. This brokerage is $0 per month. And then let's say you're on a 100% commission model, if that's what you choose, right? Because it is agent choice. There's two different models. There's a 100% commission model, and then there's the 80-20 hybrid share model. But let's just say you're on a 100% business builder model. That's what it's called. What it's called, right?
Yeah.
And it's $0 a month. Now he's offering, hey, look, I'll give you these extra tools for $80 or $150.
Yep.
And this stuff is like worth $1,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of them, I mean, there's some type of healthcare stuff in there. There's leads for people who want leads. He's like, hey, I can provide you some leads just if, you need some skin in the game. At 100% commission model. That's what I love about it. The opportunities there. But there's other things in there like a Zoom account. Before this, I was paying for an annual Zoom account as well. And it gets to the point as your business grows that you're going to do, you're not going to want the free version that's 20 minutes long or whatever. Yep. You might want to have an hour-long
Well,
Zoom.
and all those individual services start to add up too, right?
Exactly.
Like it's fine when you first start, actually even when you first start your business, you're limited on capital, right? You're starting out. It's like, okay, I can pay for maybe 1 or 2 annual subscriptions at $300 right now, but make that 8 or 10,
Right.
Right.
That's
And those
our
are
price.
tools that are in some ways invaluable when you're a real estate agent,
Exactly. And he's giving it to you for like 10%.
saving you a lot of money.
fun.
So yeah, John said something very important, which is new businesses or new real estate professionals entering the market. And, before LPT, for example, if you wanted to be involved in revenue share, you would have to go to like EXP. As a new agent, you would be giving up 20% of your commission. And unless you're coming out the gate with implemented systems and processes, it's not really advantageous to be giving up 20% of
Off
your
the rip.
commission. So
Right.
what Robert did was he implemented what you were describing, which is the 100% model and the 80-20 model. Plus, he's provided us an ecosystem of tools called LPT Plus that plugs and plays with our already unfair advantage, which is listing power tools and the rest of our marketing collateral system.
For sure. You're getting a lofty website, and a CRM to go along with it. And, it's what top agents are using across the country. So that's one thing I love, that he can connect with he's paying attention is really what he's doing. What are the top agents out there nationwide, not just in my neighborhood, doing? And he's absorbing and making adjustments. And
I love that
making
about
relationships
Robert.
happen.
He said something a couple of weeks ago, which was that he likes to look at other industries and what they're doing, right? So, he talks about our print marketing collateral and how he pulled ideas from luxury brands, right? Because luxury brands use a lot of print in-your-face marketing collateral. And so what I think makes LPT so powerful, as well as the drivers behind it, is the ability to be open-minded, looking at other industries, seeing what's working, and then coming back and implementing it very fast. And Robert, by far, is the best at quick implementation. So I'm super impressed what's going on with LPT Plus. You didn't mention Zoodealio. So that's actually something that's part of the LPT Plus ecosystem. And Zoodealio is a cash offer platform, but it's not just any cash offer platform. If you guys have ever dealt with Open Door or OfferPad, we all know that can be a pain and then experience, not only for ourselves, but for our clients.
Right.
And so what LPT has done with this ecosystem and Zoodealio is they have put the power back in our hands. And what makes Zoodealio awesome is that it offers multiple options for sellers other than just straight cash offers.
Right.
Yeah, so it's giving you a tool. If you're an agent, it's giving you the tool to be able to provide offers to your clients. Instead of sitting there with a listing that just is not selling, your seller might be overpriced at the time or whatnot when they started, but at the end of the day, their main goal, that seller's main goal, is to get to his next destination, regardless of whatever he talks about price wise. But so the partnership with LPT Plus and Zudelio, it allows us as the agents to be able to at least put 5 different offers on the table for our seller. And when you say 5 different offers, Michael, what does that mean?
Sure. And the important thing here is the relevancy of the offers. So with Zudelio, like I explained, if you were to operate with a traditional cash offer platform, like an Open Door Offer Pad, you have one option.
One option, right?
Yeah, that's
I've done
a
a lot of
straight
deals with Open Door, for
cash
sure.
offer. Well, the problem is, as soon as you go under contract, you completely lose control because it's almost certain they're going to come back and find something, right? So that kind of narrows your options as a seller. With Zudelio, you have the straight cash offer.
Straight cash offer, right.
You have an option called sell now, move later. So what does that do? We have a lot of homeowners right now that don't want to sell because they don't know where to go. So the sell now, move later allows them to instantly, right, tap into their equity and then rent the home back or lease the home back on a month-to-month basis so that we can be more strategic and take our times with helping them find the best solution as opposed to rushing into the market, maybe making some mistakes, maybe overpaying, maybe settling for something that they don't really want. So that's an amazing opportunity.
Convenience value.
Yeah.
You know, that
Huge,
the value
huge
of convenience is...
Absolutely. And that's what consumers want. They want multiple options and they want options that are relevant. And that's what Zudelio does.
Yeah. So that's shout out to LPT and Robert Palmer. For
Yeah, and
putting that together
Christina
to us.
too. Also
Yeah,
Christina Griffin,
Christina
who's
Griffin,
heading... she's actually really a large portion of the brains behind LPT Plus.
She brings a lot of relationships, active relationships to the
So
table.
what you're going to see is,
really, really cool
as
person.
more agents onboard to LPT and adopt Zudelio, is we're actually creating a network, state to state, a cash offer network, state to state. And that allows the organization to capture more revenue than they typically would if our agents were to go to these publicly traded companies that really at the end of the day are only caring about the bottom line.
Right.
Michael Manos, if someone out there wanted to know more about this company, they want to be affiliated, they want those partnerships with the LPT Plus and the cash buying programs and all that, how can they find out more info? Where are they going to go to?
Yeah, so for LPT Plus?
For an agent outside of the brokerage that wants to come to the brokerage and have those partnerships.
Yeah, I think first and foremost,
you go to floreslam.com or you can check.
I was gonna say, I think first you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
How you want to operate your business, because every brokerage is not the same and every CEO is not the same. And I place more emphasis on the CEO, right? People throw up, is EXP better? Is LPT better? Is Real better? To me, and actually somebody at LPT said this to me, is that you should bet on the jockey, not the horse.
Oh.
And so Robert has not disappointed me once in his ability to navigate this very challenging time in our brokerage. So the first thing you need to do is you need to decide, what do you want to do with your business? Do you want to continue to rely on paid leads? Do you want to continue to brand under a brokerage that is not allowing you to be an individualized person? Or do you want to start building out a brand for yourself at a agent brand centric brokerage? So to me, that's like the first, right?
Yeah.
And then really to find out more, get with myself, get with Jon, get with Joe. We use these systems at a very, very high level. But the most important thing here is you guys have to really make a decision, because with artificial intelligence, the landscape of our industry is changing very, very fast. And so it's important that you align with the right team, the right leader, and also the right suite of tools. And we most certainly have that at LPT. We have one of the best marketing collateral systems I've ever seen in the industry.
And it's the right sponsor. And when you come to a company like this, they're going to ask you, hey, who do you want to connect with? as being your sponsor? Who's the person that's introducing you, putting you onto the game of how to use LPT to your advantage as being an agent? Sometimes you might just go with somebody that you know. And you might go with somebody you know, but the problem is they might not be necessarily be active or be the mentor type of,
Sure.
They might be busy themselves.
Sure.
And that, I see that a lot where agents are like, hey,
I onboarded.
with this person, but I want you. Can you be my mentor? You want to align yourself up with the people that are going to assist you in your career. So think about it. Don't just kind of like jump with anybody. If you get with anybody like Michael Manos, Jon Debellavue, Joe Flores, we're going to take our time to educate you on how to use the resources to your advantage.
That's right. We all work together here as a team, right? We're all always sharing ideas. We're always sharing insights. And I really think that's what's propelled our brokerage so quickly is, number one, like you had described, it's real estate first at LPT, right? A lot of other brokerages, they focus too much on the building out the revenue share side of things. But like you said, there's challenges there where a lot of agents are just focused on onboarding people in their downline and not really providing value. So Robert sets the tone for that by saying that we are a real estate first company. And so I believe that sort of creates this synergy between everybody to drive the ship towards the common goal. And then the benefit of that is we're all enriching each other. And when you decide to onboard into LPT, you're onboarding into an ecosystem that prioritizes your business, as well as a group of agents that are really educated on how to operate businesses, because we have the tools and we have the leadership that on a day-to-day basis, I mean, these guys are meeting with us weekly to show us how to perform at a high level.
Have you heard? So now there's something else that came out recently. LPT's just opened up in California and New York this year, 2024. That's amazing. I heard those guys out there I saw Matt Levy and Valdez and a group of guys out there in California doing some rallies, and I heard a lot of good news. A lot of agents are joining from California, and so it's definitely a dope network to be able to collaborate with agents in other states and different trends. But I heard of something. They're coming out with something called Aperture.
Yeah.
Have you caught a whiff of what's the word there? What's going on with Aperture?
I don't know enough about it to talk about it too much, but I know that LPT and Aperture are going to coincide with each other. They're all going to fall under
LPT Holdings.
Yeah. Aperture is, I think, Robert wanted to bring something that was a similar feel to a high-end brokerage like Compass, still cloud-based, still flexible, still agent-centric, but an elevated feel not only for the consumer, but also for the agent and for the agents who are producing, luxury level properties at a high volume. So I think that's what I think the main purpose of Aperture is. But again, I don't know enough about it, and I haven't been in the loop enough to, go.
Yeah, Michael, I know you've been a big advocate of Aperture. You saw it coming a while back before a lot of people did. You had some insight on it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so I go back to where we were talking about Robert's ability to sort of go out into the marketplace and see what's working and what's not. And so the way I see it, the first thing that Robert wanted to attack was this revenue share model. Right? So he saw
pretty much the EXP model at that point in time,
He saw that, that was the option, and that giving up 20% of your commission as a new agent is not really the best business practice when you get in the game. So he went out and he created the two models, which is our 100% model and our 80-20 model. And we're succeeding at that at a very high level. And so, in my opinion, what Robert did was he went back into the marketplace. So he's always looking at data as I am. And so if you actually look at the data right now, in the United States, 1 in every 10 home is now valued at $1 million.
Right.
One out of how many?
1 out of 10 homes,
valued
right? So if you understand economic cycles, if you understand inflation, what's happening right now is that inflation systematically, I will say systematically, inflation goes up, wages do not go up. And what it does is it causes this gap to widen between that
Pull the
price
carpet
point,
right under our feet.
the wealthy, and what we used to know as the first-time home buyer, that price point, that demographic, those areas, right? And so Robert decided to revolutionize again and say, okay, we've already mastered these two models and we're scaling them. We've already hit, like you said, we've already hit critical mass. We're opening almost in every state just 3 years in. We're going international. So that tells me that the company is very confident in these two models. And so now Robert wants to attack this luxury space. And so that is where Aperture was born. And
Right.
so now we have LPT Holdings. He calls it I'll probably pronounce it wrong, but Kyotsu, which essentially back in, I think it was the 50s or 60s, sorry if I'm wrong about this, Japanese companies were actually banding together to drive innovation, right? And so that is what Robert is doing with LPT Holdings. So inside, guys, this is super important. So when you join LPT, when you close deals, right? We are pre-IPO. You're gaining shares in LPT Holdings, which includes many of our sister companies. We have a media company, we have LPT, we have Aperture, Aperture International. And so when you close a deal, you're actually getting shares in those companies. And so what sets Aperture apart is, number one, it now provides an ability for some of these luxury and ultra luxury. And let me back that up. The entry price, so you have to have a minimum of $10 million in production. And the price
Is it 10 or 15?
It's 10.
10 million? Okay.
And then you have to be at a certain price point. And so Aperture will allow these luxury and ultra luxury agents to now monetize their sphere of influence. Never before was there an ability for a luxury agent to be able to earn revenue share. Some of these luxury agents have the biggest brands. If you go to their Instagrams, 100,000, 200,000 people. So number one, it allows for these luxury agents to now tap into their sphere of influence, tap into other agents that they know, to then bring them into their inner circle and to be able to monetize that influence. So that never existed before, right?
I felt like he analyzed before. He was using the comparison of like, let's say, Jetta and Audi.
Yeah, so
right?
the way so basically the way that he was explaining that is you have the holding company, right? We go back to brand persona, right? You have you said, was it Volkswagen?
Volkswagen.
And then, what was it, Mercedes?
Audi. I think Audi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not going to communicate to the individual who owns the Audi the same way you're going to do the Volkswagen, right? And so this creates
It's like Toyota and Lexus, right?
yeah.
Right.
And so it's a cross brand is what it is. It allows us to open up
Under one holding company.
under one
There you go.
holding company. And so to me, that opportunity to invite other luxury agents into your inner circle and then monetize that is absolutely huge, but doesn't stop there. There's a lot of revenue to be unlocked between luxury agents, and I don't know how you would categorize it. To me, it was told to me this is a business decision, right? This person, we all took our same license test, right? The luxury agent chose that as a business model. Most of us chose single family, first time home buyer price points from a volume standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, Aperture agents could also cross recruit into LPT. So now that unlocks
That part separates.
Right.
great amount
You're touching
of
two
not only
brokerage- two
revenue,
companies,
but
two brokerages.
inventory too, because a lot of the luxury agents have clients they can't service because it's not their thing. A lot of LPT agents have luxury clients that they just don't service it. And so what he's doing is he's creating that Kyotsu to be able to scale this company across multiple different niches and multiple different sectors to get us to where we want to go much quicker, but also be able to bring revenue into the company in a distributed way, pulling revenue from multiple different sources within LPT Holdings. And that's why I think that this IPO is really going to shake the world. EXP, they went public with just cloud-based infrastructure. We're going public with a holding company where we're already making money. I mean, look at Listing Power Tools. I didn't even know that we had ownership in Listing Power Tools, a marketing company. And so to me, it's an absolute no-brainer to come and join LPT or Aperture, because we're getting ready to go public.
You're getting
guys.
a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Come on.
So it's amazing because, he's unlocking opportunities across the board for everybody.
Right.
And so we're going to be going public pretty soon. And so you guys, any questions whatsoever, reach out to, one of the three of us. We're always chopping it up and chatting and improving each other. Our businesses. And so we're happy to equip you with that information. But I will say that we're going to be going public. There's going to be a silent period here pretty soon where we really can't talk about what's going to go on with that IPO. But right now, to me, the most important thing is, number one, establish what you want to do with your business. Number two, establish who is your ride or die leadership, right? Mm-hmm. And then number three, ride the wave, because we have a big tsunami right now that is rolling out not only to the United States, but internationally. And I believe that now is the best time to ride this momentum.
INTL. And I could just picture a lot of developments happening, and starting with multifamily here. And now that we're going overseas, I'm pretty sure there's going to be opportunities for agents in the future to do different type of multifamily or commercial. Like,
have you seen some of these like high end community builder deals that Robert is signing? For,
is that what Matt Hodge? I just saw him across another country. St. Martin.
There's so much. There's going to be so much movement and shaking in the industry, not just when we IPO and go public, but just when Aperture is fully launched, and the demographic that it's going to widen LPT Holdings to is such an important thing, like Michael touched on. I mean, you have agents who just weren't drawn to LPT. It didn't have the appeal to them, and I think Aperture will have that appeal to them, and it's all going to fall within this one holding company, and then you can cross your rev share, and there's so many incentives. I mean, he's built it out, again, at the end of the day, for the agents. And,
and not to mention, Aperture is now I believe the highest payout revenue share company.
It's the highest revenue share model in existence.
It's better than Real. It's better than EXP.
Meaning it pays more.
I mean, it's better than Cochrane.
It's better than all of them.
Yeah.
And the thing that, again, that LPT Holdings, so whether you're Aperture or LPT Realty, is offering you as choices. An agent is choices and brand distinctiveness. So you get to stand out versus the company standing out. It's not about making the KW sign shine or whatever. It's about making the agent sign
the shine, period after
and the
sentence.
focal point being the agents.
I'm getting a lot of calls for team leaders of small boutique brokerages. They're wanting to come over to LPT, and they just want to know, how does that transition work for branding purposes. And Robert, like you guys were saying, Robert Palmer,
those back office options and things like that, where you can come in, bring your team or bring your group from another broker.
They don't want to take away from your brand,
or you're currently your own broker, but you don't want to do all your back office BS anymore. Robert has those options and flexibilities for large groups and leaders to come here and be on board with a leader that's going to support them.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And I also want to touch on as well, which I said earlier, is the importance now of building a brand.
Yeah.
It's so important right now, especially with, the National Association of Realtors lawsuit, that happened earlier in the year. There is can be a lot of distrust in the industry right now when it comes to working with real estate professionals. And so, if you choose to just brand yourself under Real or EXP, right? You're going to fall into that bucket of generalized, I feel this certain way about this brokerage, therefore I feel a certain way about this agent. The thing that Robert does is day one, you talked about back-end systems, you talked about brand adoption. Day one, when you join LPT or Aperture, the organization equips you with print and marketing collateral as well as branding abilities to start building a sustainable brand for the future. And to me, that's a game changer.
He's showing you how to fish.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The amount, I mean, I was in real estate for over a year before I came to LPT, and I was doing sales and I was doing volume. I had transitioned. It was my full-time career at that point, and then I joined onto LPT, and it exponentially, doubled my annual production and my income the first year at LPT, just because of the ability to brand myself as an agent and stand out with Desi AI, like you talked about earlier, being able to plug and play with some photos and get some nicer business cards and get some yard signs and get those things that initially I didn't.
They gave me 15 open house signs when I came. I never owned 15 open house signs.
I
didn't have the even a year in, I was just making enough to cover all of my own expenses after taxes and everything like that. I didn't have a ton of money year one to reinvest back into my business. And yes, everybody tells you, make sure you put back money year one, reinvest in your business so that way you can make the real money year two. But, it's hard starting out that year one. So coming into LPT where you got all of that at either no cost or a very low cost, from listing power tools to the Desi AI marketing introduction pack, which gave us the yard signs and the cards and everything like that. We were getting billboard marketing. You remember? Initially, the founding agents were my billboard was on Dale Mabry for 6 months. We were getting slapped on billboards. And this was coming from a brokerage that had no CRM. I had no CRM. We had no lead services. We had nothing. And then I was at a brokerage that had lead services in beta and development when we were coming in. We were on billboards. We had marketing support. We had CRM through Chime. It was like a complete, and yes, some of those, KW and some of those other places, they offer all those things, but not for 100%. You don't get to keep 100% and get all those things.
$0 per month.
And
get all those things.
I think that's what our unfair advantage is, honestly. And the way I look at LPT is that really, we're a technology company that's really good at marketing. And we all know marketing is what drives sales.
Yep, marketing.
And so you look at some of these other brokerages, again, I go back to the bottom line. I go back to being way too focused on, just revenue and not actually equipping their agents with the marketing tools that they need to win more listings in today's market. And so to me, the combination of having a CEO that is the highest level at marketing when it comes to business, right? The highest level, in my opinion, and then the ability to supply the agents with these top of mind and branding tools that allow us to win more listings. It's an absolute unfair advantage. I don't see it at any other brokerage. I've seen some copycats. But when you've been back testing a marketing collateral system for so long, with listing power tools, this system that we're using has been improved over many, many years. So, you want to adopt tools that work, and 100% we all can attest to listing power tools works.
Well, and our leader, Robert is such an intelligent leader that a lot of these tools and technologies, the ones that are not additional subscriptions that you can get through LPT Plus and things like that, he patented. So these companies that tried to come in and replicate and duplicate, features of our LPT power tools and AdWorks, packages and things like that, ended up getting ceased and desist. And having to pull those products completely and either completely redevelop them so that they had no likeness of LPT products, or pull them completely. So he's set a standard where we do have an unfair advantage as agents. And I think that, it's the place, no matter where you're at, it might be the place you want to be.
See, a lot of people, it
might be the place
you're able to, it's not just about being at some companies, they have a lot of tools, but then they might do a certain split with you. Let's just say, they might say, hey, you got to pay $600 a month and be at a, let's say, 80-20 split. This company is saying, hey, you can, if you already have your own tools together or whatever, you can come here for 100% commission, $0 per month. But if you want these extra really relevant tools,
Sure.
you can handpick. We'll give them to you for $150
But what is it
versus giving 15-20% away of your
Can you tell
commission.
the viewers, what the listing power tools cost us as agents? Can you kind of share that? Because to me, it's incredible.
Almost nothing.
Right. Yeah. Since every time you get a listing, if no matter what brokerage I'm in, if I get a listing, what is the protocol? You should get some type of print, flyers, or marketing to give around the prospect around the neighborhood and let your people know like the house is for sale. And that's the intention, is to just really brand you. But it's good for the seller that that their property's on all of this marketing material being printed.
I want to say these systems are very expensive to build and to implement and to sustain.
Though you're going to spend probably easy $450 per box of print.
If you're not an LPT agent.
Yeah.
If you're not an LPT agent.
And
But
not to
what's the
include
unfair
monthly,
advantage?
Not to include monthly subscription cost either.
Yeah,
You know,
and for
talking
some of these
$300,
companies,
$400
just
a
to
box
have a
plus your
subscription.
monthly subscription.
At LPT, every time you have a listing, you design it, you print it, it's free. The only thing you pay for, you have two options. Either you drive or go to the office in Sanford, Florida and pick it up where it's free, or you just pay for shipping from UPS, costs you $21.
Yeah.
This is 168 or 38
Yeah,
pieces
it's
of print here.
168 pieces of print marketing that were selected, like strategically selected by Robert based on his experience with like multi-million dollars in marketing spend.
And he's showing you how to fish by meaning, hey, here goes the print, pass them out. Your job on your end should really be to get this 168 pieces. There's 40 door hangers.
Yeah.
There's 40, mail out letters. There's 40, a variety of selection of different print, but you've got to use it. You've got to empty the box and use it. And through his system, it's already been proven that he knows that this is going to bring back business in return.
100%. I want to add to that too is, you talked about the market shifting, right? Well, Robert teaches us that these tools are meant also to stay top of mind.
Yeah.
So that when the market does shift, right, our brand is in front of these consumers, anywhere from high quality magazines from our active marketing campaigns to door hangers, to direct mail pieces, thank you cards. And so I believe that those at LPT who have been adopting this system and those who come to LPT now and adopt these systems and use them, over time, they will get more brand exposure, more impressions, because at the end of the day, really, that's what marketing is about.
Yep.
And when the market shifts, who are they going to call?
Exactly. If you're looking to join LPT Realty or find out more information, hey, you can check out my sites. I have two of them, floreslamteam.com, or you can just come to floreslam.com. And right there, you'll find all your answers on how to get started. Join LPT Realty. And that's the same thing for you guys. I think it's first name, last name, right?
Yeah, I'm livingsaltlife.com is my main website if you're looking for more information about what we do. And then I think it's jdebellavue.lpt.com
Yeah.
if you're interested in joining. So just check it out, and you can get in touch with us online on social. We're all on socials. So
Exactly. And anywhere you'd like to send, let people know where to find out if they want to know more about LPT.
Yeah, really, like you can just
michaelmanos.lpt.com.
So you can email me or you can text me directly. So my phone number is 813-777-2805 and my email is michael@michaelmanosrealty.com. And if you just want to chat about, what's going on at LPT, how to use these tools at a high level, or if you even want to start implementing some AI growth infrastructure for your business, feel free to reach out, have a quick consultation. We'll talk about the best ways to apply some leverage to your business and tie it all into what LPT is doing, because that's just fuel on top of the fire.
Yes, sir.
Love
So,
it.
man, I appreciate you guys coming to Tampa Live
Always a
podcast
pleasure.
this week, holding it down at the Blue Gray Studios. Man, until next time, stay tuned and look forward for a lot more events and shows and episodes and clips, all right? Check us out on YouTube, Tampa Live Podcast. See you.